Welcome to Knowledge Valley IAS, IFS, IPS. Today we are going to speak or have a discussion on India-Australia relations. What is the context of this? Why are we discussing it today? On June 4th, there is going to be a virtual meeting of the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Australian Prime Minister Mr. Scott Morrison. And as this editorial also says, anchoring ties with the Canberra the virtual way. The India-Australia summit next week is not directed only by the turbulent geopolitics of the region. So just remember June 4th, 2020. So this is the context. So why are we discussing India-Australia relation, or why are these prime ministers meeting? Before that, let's go to the history. In August 1950, one of the Australia's most celebrated jurists, Sir Owen Dixon, he had said, so he was a jurist and he had come here to solve the issues between India and Pakistan on Kashmir. He had said, "I hope and trust that I shall never see this place again." And he was talking about New Delhi. He had written a letter to his daughter. The reason was Australia-India relations were not that great that time. But after 70 years, we have come a long way. The relation between India and Australia has improved massively. And there is a virtual meet now happening on June 4th, 2020. Here you have Scott Morrison, the Australian Prime Minister, and the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Now, why is India-Australia relationship so important, and what has changed so far? You must remember all the recent prime ministers in Australia. That is Julia Gillard, we had Tony Abbott, you had Malcolm Turnbull. All of them visited India. And why or how did it happen? Because of a visit which was made by Narendra Modi to Australia in 2014. It electrified the relationship between India and Australia, and a lot of trade deals happened, and Indian companies and Australian companies had a lot of agreements between each other, and we increased trade and we made our relationship better. Now, Australia and India relation, one should not take Australia and India's relation in context with China. We see Australia and India. So Australia is like our extended neighbor. We consider Australia in our extended neighborhood. We are linked with Australia by the Indian Ocean. So we are connected with Australia because of the Indian Ocean. And we have a lot of trade ties and all, which we are going to see later. Many people look at this relationship between India and Australia in the context of China. Since Australia is having bad relationship with China, so India-Australia is coming together. The answer is no. We have made Quad also. Now, what is Quad? Quad is a group where India, Australia, United States and Japan have come together. So we have come together to increase our trade ties and make the relationship better, and yes, even for some military purposes. So it should not always be considered, India-Australia bilateral relation should not always be considered as in the context of China. Now, Australia considers India as a very, very important partner. We are in their partnership radar. The reason why is Australia has sent its High Commissioner to India. Now, who is an High Commissioner? When there is a Commonwealth nation, that is the nation which were previously under the British, when they send their foreign dignitaries, they don't call them ambassadors, they call them High Commissioners. So we send an High Commissioner to Australia, whereas for the other countries it would be an ambassador. Now, Australia send its ambassador, that is the actual post is the High Commissioner. His name is Barry O'Farrell, and that is how we know Australia has very good relation with India, because Barry O'Farrell is not just another officer. He was a premier of one of the province of Australia. So sending one of the premiers of one of the province of Australia, that is New South Wales, to India itself means how important India is considered by Australia. Now we are going to see the relationship between India and Australia and the various angles how they can further it much more ahead. As Dr. Manmohan Singh had famously said, no one can stop an idea whose time has come. That is how between India and Australia needs to be seen. Australia and India are very good partners in various aspects. The most two important or the highest most aspect is strategic and defense. So they can have strategic partnership and defense is the number one point. So when we talk about strategic partnership, what does come to your mind? So yes, in this case it is one of the angle which is China, but it is not the only factor. And currently we have seen in WHO, that is World Health Organization, both India and Australia are of the view that the reasons for the COVID-19 should be discussed in WHO. This is the first strategic partnership. In defense, we are going to talk about later, but about strategic partnership we see the word or the concept of virtual meetings was not new, but it was done very few times. We had seen in recent past Narendra Modi having a virtual meet with the South Asian nations so that we can together fight the COVID-19 crisis. We had discussion with the G20, but the first bilateral meeting was with Australia. So we come to know how important a strategic partner Australia is. Then if we talk about defense, in defense, the most important thing that we need to see is the Quad group, which I just mentioned about, where it was India, Australia, Japan, United States, Quad group. Then we have another thing in defense called as Mutual Logistics Support Agreement. It will be signed during the summit that should enhance defense cooperation between the two countries. Two military exercises very important. AUSINDEX, remember, between India and Australia, this is the naval exercise. Secondly is Malabar. Now Malabar, Australia is not there. Malabar exercises is currently between India and Japan. Australia will also be taken as a permanent member. So AUSINDEX and Malabar. Now these are important for defense. So for defense, remember Quad, Mutual Logistics Support, AUSINDEX and Malabar. Plus now 2+2 dialogue is going on between the foreign secretaries. There are talks for increasing it to 2+2 with the ministers, that is foreign and defense ministers. So very important. Another important, now this is about defense. When we talk about relationship, there should be points where the people are also having an advantage or people are benefited because of the relationship. So it is on three sectors, that is health, food and education. Now in the COVID-19, one prime minister or one leader who has been getting a lot of name is Mr. Morrison. He has emerged as a statesman because what he did was, unlike in many other countries, Mr. Morrison was able to bring in the opposition as well as the state leaders to fight the COVID-19 crisis. And he brought the real sense of cooperative federalism. Cooperative federalism means the states and the center are working together. Now you should analyze how this is happening in other countries. So much so that one of the Australian famous writer, his name is Richard Flanagan. So just remember Flanagan. So Richard Flanagan says that polarizing ideologies in Australia were killed by the coronavirus. So this is a very good thing which happened in the coronavirus in Australia. It should be covered or it should be happening in the other countries also. Now, what are the pandemic control lessons that we can learn from Australia? This is a very important thing. So, Australia has covered or was able to manage the COVID 19 through two strategies. Okay, so just remember two strategies. One is controlled adaptation, and the second one is to make a vaccine. Now, controlled adaptation was done by Indian born scientist who was led the this Indian born, there were many Indian born scientists who was led by Kshitij Kapoor of University of Melbourne. So what he did was he led a community of academics and made a report roadmap to recovery. So this is controlled adaptation. And the second strategy was a vaccine which was made by Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organization. Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organization. This was under the leadership of S.S. Vasan. So that is why India-Australia relation is very important. So we can learn something from Australia. And in terms of health and safe food as well as the supply chains as we had discussed in the earlier editorials, also very important to bring back the economy. Without the supply, how will we gain the economy back? So what we can learn is one of Australia's richest businessman, Anthony Pratt of the Pratt Industries. He was the first patron of Australia-India leadership dialogue, and recently he described the promise of DTC CPG, that is direct to consumers, consumer packaged good, direct to consumer packaged good, so that supply there is no issue of the supply chain, which could transform global supply chains. Here too there is much room for collaboration and new. Now the last aspect is education. Australian universities are considered to be one of the best in the world, and they have also proved this during the time of pandemic. They might be one of the first who will open up than the other universities in Europe and United States. But Australian universities have also adapted to the online learning, and one of the important courses online which are seen today in Australia is to Australian students, that is the course on Indian studies, course on contemporary India to Australian students. So with the slides of Ambedkar, Mahatma Gandhi and some movies of Satyajit Ray, there is a lot of potential and the students are very excited. So although the course was online, the enormous young students of Australia and of young Australians and Indians working and building fresh order in a turbulent world is very obvious. The virtual summit in this sense could have been better timed. Okay, so what we saw is India-Australia relation. We saw the history. We saw how they are, how the relationship bettered or became better. Then we saw how India and Australia are now talking in terms of defense, COVID-19, steps to control the COVID-19, and education. Okay, so I hope many aspects are covered. Thank you for listening, and remember, the art and science of asking questions is source of all knowledge. Thank you.